Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Patrick, the podcast where I sit down with a guest and we talk about whatever we so choose to discuss. So today I have once again Pam. Hello, Pam. How are you today?
I'm great. Always great. Fabulous. Fun.
Great.
Fantastic.
We love all those adjectives.
Good for you.
Good job, Pam. You know your adjectives. Yay!
It took me a bit, though. I was like a lot of brain power to get just those three together.
Right. So we were kind of talking and we thought we'd kind of get into our kind of TV, movie, book habits. So,
Yes.
Pam, you're the greatest leader of all for these subjects and for a podcast, we'll say.
Yes, I am.
So, you know what? Why don't you take it away?
Oh my gosh, Patrick. Well, thank you. Not only am I the best podcast leader, I'm also the number one TV movie there is alive. So, no, I was just thinking because, spending all this time at home these days, rather than stare at the wall, I've been consuming quite a bit of television, like everybody, I'm sure.
Mhm.
And there's a couple things we have, there's a bit of an age gap, okay, my friend, between you and me. So I just wanted to bring up a few shows, maybe that you've never even heard of.
Ooh.
But first, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind. And it's going to get a little serious for a
dear.
minute.
Oh, dear.
Have you seen Bridgerton on Netflix?
Okay. So, I have not.
No.
But let me just say this. So I'm heavy in the YouTube realm. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a series on Netflix, like YouTube Netflix, which is Trixie and Katya react to Netflix episodes.
Yes.
So I know about Bridgerton from watching them react to it. So yes, I am aware of Bridgerton. No, I have not seen it.
Okay. So you know what's great? Okay, let's who cares about dissecting Bridgerton? Let's dissect Katya review Netflix shows.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, you don't even have to watch the show once you see them review it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been watching, I mean, of course I know them from RuPaul's Drag Race, but I really appreciate that they've got their own little Netflix YouTube series there. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Recommend for those of you who want a neat review. So just Bridgerton, for those, I'm not going to get into it much since you haven't seen it, but all I have to say is that there is a scene between the two main characters where the woman basically takes advantage of her husband.
Oh,
and
my.
I'm sorry, but if that were the other way around, there would be people with pitchforks and torches. Anyways, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I was in sheer shock because it was bad. It was bad. And it just reminded me that there's still such a crazy double standard sometimes, not just for, not just against women, but also against men. And I was, anyways, I almost want to just send you that one, like tell you that one clip so you can understand what I'm talking about. But so that was Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Where the heck you say it. So what have you been watching these days?
Okay.
Everything on YouTube, I guess?
So everything on YouTube, but also, so lately I've been, I know, sweet and adorable, I've been told before. However, I've been watching a lot of old childhood TV shows I grew up watching.
Okay.
I'm rewatching them.
Okay.
And they're still good. I think for some reason the shows, and hey, things back in the day, they're not like to today's standards and this and that, or don't deal with the same social issues. However, I rewatched That's So Raven. I don't know if you know
Oh,
that. I'm sure, like,
yeah.
yeah. So I rewatched like That's So
Oh,
Raven.
wow.
I like old cartoons that I was younger, but okay, recently, just like literally yesterday, because I, again, like you said, we like watching the Trixie and Katya reaction videos. They reacted to recently The Circle, like number two, season
Yeah.
two.
Oh,
So
yes.
so I started watching the first season of The
Yes.
Circle. I'm only on episode 2. I've only watched the first. It is. I was sitting there watching it. Let's face it, I was lying down, not sitting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I was watching it, and I'm like, I hate these people. I
Yeah.
hate this show. Why can I not stop watching this?
Okay, so my best friend got me into this show when it came out, the first season. And I hated the premise.
Yeah.
I hated the people like you did. I was like, what the hell is this stupidity? Couldn't stop watching it either. Binged it. 2 episodes. Oh my God, I watched like 5 in one night. And it's interesting because, I don't know, it gets really good,
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
Literally.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things, man.
Yeah. Two
And
episodes.
the people you think you're going to dislike, you'd be surprised, and the people that you dislike now may not. Anyways, it's really interesting.
Okay.
It's an interesting social experiment.
Yes.
So strange though.
But yeah, literally, like I was watching it, and then I had to pause because I had to go to the bathroom, and like I got giddy all of a sudden, and I like was like, why do I like this show so much? I don't understand.
It's so stupid. It is so stupid.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. Smiley face, heart emoji. For those of you who don't understand what the hell we're talking about, they literally have to. I mean, I'm not going to get into what the show's about. It's not worth it, but they have to text message or message people on this platform they're using, and they have to, instead of typing it out, they actually speak. It's probably like, speaking to a little nest or something. So, but they have to like say the emojis, and it's like so annoying.
It is.
Smiley face, heart emoji, eggplant. Whatever, man. Like, anyways, it's about catfishing, but not really, and the interesting things that happen on social media, I guess.
Yeah.
Deception.
We love
drama.
We love drama, deception, catfishing, just all of that together. It's really, it's good old garbage TV. It's trash. It's just trash.
I love it. And I consume so much of it, so to me it's perfect.
So I've been watching that, but another one that I want to also plug is another trash thing on Netflix, in my opinion, is a show called Prank Encounters.
Oh my God. Okay.
Did you watch that?
Oh my God. So, yes. Okay. Can I just take a minute here? Actually can't stand it. But the only reason I watch it, Sasha loves it. Loves it. He can't get enough of it. Every time he turns on Netflix, he goes to Prank Encounters.
I mean, it's
the worst.
I watched the first episode with my parents, and my parents are like, "This is horrible. This is terrible. This is trash."
Your parents have good taste.
I'm never watching this. This is garbage. And I'm like, I also agreed. I'm like, yeah, this is really garbage. Go to my room, start watching the next episode. Because I don't know what it is. Again, it's kind of like The Circle for me. It draws me in because it's so ridiculous, so stupid, so fake.
Oh, but did you see the one? Okay, I think it was this season. I don't know. Because again, I'm not following it, but if it's on, I'm just like, oh, sitting there like having to endure it. There was one where there was like two girls at like a fruit packing factory.
Yeah.
Okay. But did you see the one girl from Jersey? How she reacted? Okay. Obviously there's a prank happening to these two innocent people who have no idea that this is a prank show. But the most outrageous things happen. In this case, I don't know what happened, but it was like there was mist that was seeping in from another factory next door, turning all this fruit in this factory, in this, distribution center to rot on the spot. And then I guess it was starting to infect the people, and people started getting crazy. And this Jersey girl who didn't know this was a prank, was taking it seriously. And one of her coworkers was like being sucked in by this monster thing, and she was grabbing at him, trying to get him back and trying to save him. Meanwhile, everybody else is running away. There was another one. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking about this after I've said it's so terrible. This other one where another silly scenario, something to do with spiders, I think.
Oh my gosh, yes, that one.
And the kid literally just runs out of the house. And I'm like, see, that's what a normal person does.
Yes, I was like, finally, someone that actually reacted like you would expect someone to on a show like this.
I would just be like, okay, I don't know if this is real, because if it was real, my entire reality is being shattered, because we're talking aliens, ghosts, big spiders, you know, all kinds of weird stuff, right? And these people actually start to believe it, but at least he had an appropriate reaction, where most of them just kind of catatonic, like. And then that other chick, I appreciated how she was trying to save people.
Yes.
That was kind of nice. I was like, man, she's a boss.
Yeah.
She's an idiot for believing this is real, but...
So, I mean, yeah, it's garbage. That was another garbage show, but it sucked me in, because I'm like, I need to know what stupid scenarios they're coming up with. If these people are really not knowing what's happening, because the way they're acting and reacting, I'm like, I don't understand. Also, if they are real people getting these like quick gigs, which is a red flag in my opinion, because I don't understand that. I think it's very big in the States, like these quick gigs.
Those like you literally go, I forget what they're called. There's literal companies that have pools of people just on standby to go and do administrative work or labor jobs or whatever they need.
Yeah, because when I was watching it, I'm like, because I didn't put two and two together at first that, that's probably how they're getting these people. I thought right away, so what, this person thought they had a job and they're going to feel great? And I was like,
they signed an offer letter.
Like, haha, pranked you. By the way, you don't actually have a job?
You're fired. Oh, that's when they would have to call in the HR big guns. Yeah. What? I don't work for this fake fruit company.
But what other shows have you been watching?
Oh my gosh. Well, so on this whole kick too, I've been going back to old shows myself. I know you mentioned that Raven show. I forget what it was called. Yeah. Again, there's an age gap here, Patrick, that's going to show in about 2 seconds, because when I was in my preteens, teenage years, I was all into 90210, the original Beverly Hills 90210. Oh my God. Not only was Jason Priestley the most gorgeous thing that ever walked the earth. So anyway, so I was obsessed with that, and I started watching it again, and it's garbage. It's so bad. It's so corny. The cast is completely whitewashed. Like, I'm like, is there any diversity? It's so scary. I'm like, oh my God. There's no, like, it's like the worst thing that could happen is somebody like has maybe doesn't like the other person anymore. Like, anyways, it was just terrible. Then I don't know if you know about this show. Did you ever watch 90210? Probably not. You were way too young for that.
I didn't, but I'm familiar with kind
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Dawson's Creek?
Oh, yes. I've never watched it, but I'm very well aware
again,
of it.
this age gap.
Yes.
For all you people my age out there, Dawson's Creek, again, was amazing. And it still holds up to this day because I did start rewatching that, and it's amazing. 90210, not so much. Oh my goodness. And what else am I watching modern day? Just endless amounts of, like you said, just trash.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there hasn't really been, it's been hard for me to like find movies these days. Well, number one, they're just not producing many movies right now. I mean, a lot of Netflix movies and a lot of Prime movies, but I feel like, I don't know, there hasn't been like a big blockbuster for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like in a hole somewhere, that could be the issue where I just can't remember.
But no, the like modern movies these days is a real struggle. But I know for myself, I've been doing a lot of rewatching older movies and like older classics. Like I've just recently watched not too long ago Grease for the first time.
Yes.
And hey, no hate to Grease fans there, but in my opinion, from just me watching it, it was awful. I hated it.
Oh, thank you.
It's horrible. I'm like,
thank you. Terrible.
It's terrible.
It was very popular when I was growing up.
Okay.
I don't know why, because I guess they released it in like the 70s or something, and then it just like had a resurgence in the 90s. Every goddamn sleepover I was at, every goddamn party I was at, everybody they put on Grease, and I wanted to blow my brains out because I thought it was terrible and kind of inappropriate. Like our age group at the time, like we were like 10, 11, 12, and I was like, this is like, these people are having sex. I mean, they're not showing it, but they're taught, like, it's...
Yep.
And those summer nights people, like, come on.
Oh, I know.
The worst. I don't know if I have a thing against... Maybe it's because it was, like, meant to be a musical and they turned it into a movie, and it just didn't work for me. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't stand it either.
See, for me, I think it was more just... And again, no hate on like the actors, but the acting wasn't.
They're not watching this. Don't worry.
I know.
Oh wait, you'll be working with them in
yes,
future,
you're right.
So.
When I'm an actor, as per our last podcast.
Throwback to the last podcast, yeah.
But the acting wasn't good in my opinion, and also
terrible.
I hated the message. What? The message behind it was awful. It was like this one girl, she's like hooking up with this guy, but he's like trash, but not trash. And then the main girl, Sandy, changes herself for this guy, and he's like, hey, Sandy, or whatever.
Looking better now.
Yeah. And then, what the heck? They get in a car and it flies away. I don't understand.
I thought about that part. What is that?
So I actually...
Where are they going?
So I read something that said, and apparently I think like the creators of Grease had to actually say a statement saying, no, this is incorrect. But I think it's a little more tolerable is... Apparently, Sandy drowns at the beginning of the film where John Travolta saves her at the beach. And so this is her purgatory is the rest of this, and it's her overcoming and realizing that she's dead.
I just started drooling. That was so bizarre.
And then her getting in the car and they're driving off into the sky is her finally ascending to heaven.
Oh, and her ascending to heaven included finally being one with this man.
Yes.
And being like this made up floozy.
Yes, exactly.
Alrighty then.
But I'll take that more than whatever the story is behind. I'm like, at least she's in a coma and this is kind of not her thing.
God.
But
well,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just I'm shocked. I'm fascinated. I had no idea. You know, you learn something new every day. Like, I had no idea that was the premise.
Yeah. And two other movies I watched recently were, because they're apparently like cult classics, and they might have been for, we'll say, the older generations, but not my generation. But they were the movies The Craft,
yeah,
and Heathers.
Oh, Heather's like, okay, well, now hold on now.
I know. I know. Heathers has a big following of fans, and I get it. Because I get it. It would be like the Mean Girls of my time.
Exactly. And a little more gothy, a little more edgy.
Yes. Oh, you want to talk about edgy? My goodness.
Oh my God. You're going to have to remind me. Like, it's been so long since I've watched that movie, like literally the 90s. I can't remember what happens in the Heathers. I just remember it was good. Isn't that funny? No, it's not funny. It's called memory loss. But anyways.
Well, it's like your classic mean girl group, and like the your classic girl next door, part of the mean girl clique that wants to like tear down society, like the school hierarchy. So she ends up meeting like this guy, and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, let's do it. Let's take it down." And then they end up killing.
I was going to say there's murder. I know there's murder.
And then it's like, apparently it's assumed, spoiler to anyone that hasn't seen the Heathers.
Oh, whatever.
It's deemed a suicide. Oh. And then it's apparently suicide's the new in thing in school.
Oh! Well, you're in, then you're out. With that trend.
So it was like, I'm watching it and I'm like, what the hell is this that I'm watching? Because again, back in the time, I'm sure it was groundbreaking, amazing, wonderful.
Well, and anything went. The 90s were so bizarre. Especially, I'm talking the late 90s too. Yeah. Like late 90s, early 2000s, things were weird. Like things were getting real weird. Music was weird. Oh my gosh, things I would listen to. Oh, anyways. And the movies I would watch. And you just reminded me of another show. Have you ever heard of My So-Called Life?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
That still stands up to this day. I swear. You gotta watch it, Patrick. I don't know where you're gonna find it. I don't know how you're gonna find it, but you gotta find it. Okay? We're talking Jared Leto. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. And Claire Danes. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
They were good actors even back then. And it's total teen drama, but it's got like a very adult. And again, here's me running my mouth. People are probably thinking, "Oh my God, Pam, for real? Like My So-Called Life? Get a life." But I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth it. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. All right. And I'll have to rewatch Heathers because I remember it being good, but I don't remember. Oh, anyways, it was a blur.
I mean, it was. I wanted to watch it because I knew it had such a big following, and I've always wanted to watch it since watching season 3, I think, of RuPaul's Drag Race, when they all start calling each other Heather. And I'm like, I don't understand what they're doing. And then they literally just said, "Oh, something Heather." And it's like, "Yes, until like I chop your head off, Heather." And I'm like, "Oh, what is this? What are they talking about? It sounds scary. I want to watch this." And that's kind
It's
of what,
amazing the references.
yeah. And that's
It's
kind of what
amazing the
got me into it.
references from RuPaul's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's kind of why I'm like, okay, I'll sit down, I'll watch Heather's and just kind of
Well, and that's
understand.
another. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm not talking about that. That's another show I just finished. Is season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
Oh, so good, so good.
Yes.
Season 12 was a little.
Really?
I
I
shouldn't
prefer
say that.
season 12.
Oh, for the last
Yeah.
one. Okay, okay. Um, who was on season 12 again that I'm like, this is my problem. What's the, oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember her name who won
Oh,
uh,
uh,
season 12.
spoiler for anyone, Jada Essence Hall.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Okay, yes, Jade Essence Hall. I was so happy she won because I mean, she was incredible from the beginning, but
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know, man. Uh, no, it was a good. Who am I kidding? They're all amazing. They're all amazing seasons.
Oh, yeah.
And I say that every season that happens, I'm like, oh, this one was the best. This one was better than last year. But it just keeps getting better.
What was it
Uh,
about season 13 that you like really liked?
um, I think that they had a good variety. So the final, oh my God, I'm gonna give so many spoiler alerts away. Everybody just turn it off now if you haven't seen it. But
Yeah.
the top four, I'll try and be vague about it, but the top four were so different.
Yes.
And their style was different, their looks were different, and I guess they do that every season. I don't know, it just there's something, the production value this season was like kicked up a notch.
Okay.
And there was some fashion that was incroyable.
Yes.
And
Of
it was quite
course.
funny. There was a few comedy queens, and I found them absolutely hilarious. Yeah, and I felt like RuPaul was a little bit lighter. I
Yes.
found last year there was something going on where he wasn't like as laughy as he usually is. Well, what was going on last year? I wonder.
Yeah.
Like the world was imploding.
Yeah.
But this year felt a little more light, a little more back to just being a little more goofbally still. But anyways, I enjoyed it.
I I did enjoy season 13, but I think for me, I liked season 12 a lot more because it had more iconic episodes, I think, like with the Madonna Rusical or like
Oh,
the
that's
candidate
right.
debate thing or when they did like
Oh
that
yeah, look
or
over
the
there.
or that Grey's Anatomy spoof or
Oh, that's
like
true.
that America's Got Talent spoof. Like
Okay, you
so
you definitely make a very good point because you're right. This season was more very, you're right, very fashion forward season where
yes.
there wasn't a lot of that, acting, um those nice musical things going on. Well, there was musicals, but it was mostly dance. It was heavy in the dancing too,
Heavy
I
in the
found this
dancing.
season.
Yes.
Heavy in the dancing. And this girl doesn't know a thing about dancing. It's like, you
um,
dancing. Dad dance.
did you watch UK's Drag Race?
So I did, and there's only one season, right?
So the second one has come out now.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna have
I gotta
to
write this
you'll
down.
have to find it. It's season 2 of UK's Drag Race, but I watched season 2. It's good. I really enjoyed it. The cast was great, and they actually had to pause halfway for 7 months because they were
Oh,
filming prior to Schmovid, and then they had to come back after 7 months to finish the rest
oh,
during it with like all new
wow.
protocols and everything.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no,
So
I only saw the first season with Bag of Chips.
bag of chips, yes. And who was your favorite from that crew?
Oh, definitely bag of chips.
Bag of chips for you?
Oh my god. Oh, 100%.
See, I really loved blue hydrangea.
Oh, interesting.
I
Okay.
really like blue hydrangea. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because,
Yeah.
she's from Ireland. And,
Oh, she was fantastic.
my
Oh,
roots.
don't get me. Oh, she had really beautiful. Her makeup
Her
too was really
makeup.
nice, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh,
you're,
I'm trying to remember because it was like I think I watched that season 2 years ago,
yeah.
and I
So
don't have a memory.
you're going to have to watch UK season 2. And I think they came out with the first episode this last week of RuPaul's Down Under.
Oh, Australia! I did see that on the gram.
On the gram. And what about Canada's Drag? I mean, there's so many. Canada's Drag Race.
Canada's right. I mean, Priyanka, so
I
wonderful.
love Priyanka.
I mean, oh, I mean, it was really good, and I loved how. I know it wasn't RuPaul doing the, he wasn't the host, but I really liked how. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. I wanted to say Taylor for a minute. That's not right. The host
Brooklyn
of Canada's.
Heights.
Oh, Brooklyn Heights. Oh my gosh, love Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah. I mean,
do you think that there was something going on with Brooklyn Heights and RuPaul? I don't know. I haven't read anything online or anything that's not. There's just something like I don't know what it was like in Brooklyn season. Like they were very flirty. Am I crazy?
They kind of were, but I think what it was is probably, I think RuPaul would have had Brooklyn potentially win. That's spoiler,
so right.
but
yeah,
they ended up going with the other person. So as like well, then I'll give you this.
Yeah, and I think Brooklyn represents exactly what RuPaul wants, like super polished, super professional, super still funny and whatever, but just like on point.
Yes.
But yeah, didn't come across. I mean, I loved her to death, but I mean, yeah, the person that won that season, I could see why they won, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
over her.
Of course. And that's the one thing I did enjoy about Canada's Drag Race is it played into obviously Canadian history and like heritage and stuff.
Yes.
And obviously being Canadian is wonderful and it's great. And excuse me, I did like the judges panel. Like I loved Stacey McKenzie. I love Brooklyn Heights.
Yes.
I was fine with Jeffrey Boyer Chapman. I know he got a lot of hate.
Oh, really?
He got a lot of hate. People did not want him and they wanted him removed.
What happened?
Well, just because I guess he was very judgy and judgmental. And you know what? I found that that's his job. He's a judge. But
I did not find him to be abrasive.
Well, you know what? I actually enjoyed our style of judging because our judging I found was constructive and we're not going to put up with like nonsense here.
Yeah.
Like, you're here representing Canada right now on this platform. You're going to do it properly. So check your attitude at the door and this and that. And I really appreciated that. But they hated him. They're like, what does he know? He knows nothing. He knows nothing about makeup. He knows nothing about drag. Yet it's like, what do you know?
Well, I've watched every season and every All Stars, and I'm on season 2 of the UK version.
But so I really enjoyed it. They did get granted for another season. He will not be returning, unfortunately.
Wow!
But
the people have spoken.
The people have spoken. He has been removed. But I was very
Karens have spoken.
Karens have spoken. But I was very fortunate that I was able to, during the pandemic, go to drive-in drag.
Oh, yay!
For Canada's Drag Race. It was fantastic. It was like wherever, near Canada. The fields.
hey, nothing wrong with Canada.
There's nothing wrong with
No, I know.
Canada. But the fields.
Clover fields.
Yeah, the clover fields. The big fields.
Yeah.
And they were performing. Unfortunately, it was a super, super windy night. So
Ooh,
the
that's
audio
dangerous.
the audio was hard to like listen because you were listening through the radio, but like there was a problem.
Oh.
But it was fantastic watching them, and Brooklyn actually got in a car and started driving around at like
Oh, wow.
intermission to like ask questions from the truck and stuff. So like Brooklyn actually drove right in front of me, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's Brooklyn.
I want to touch you. But
It's a celebrity.
I know.
But yeah.
Oh, have you ever had a celebrity sighting?
Ooh, that's a good question. I have not.
Okay.
Have you?
Well, it's not a very well. It's a. I mean, well, not sport. A sports sighting celebrity. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Dime a dozen.
Yeah.
But the only celebrity sighting I've had, which is actually relevant right now, because anyways, he's in the news for bad things. So we were at Disney World one year. My brother and me and my family, my mom and dad, whatever, that's the family. Anyways, so we're walking in Epcot. I don't know. I'm 14, maybe 13, 14. My brother's, 15, 16, whatever. And ahead of us, there is this very, very, very tall man with this tiny little petite woman beside him, but they are dressed very like goth, full goth, platform, like goth.
I'm trying to think who it is.
Oh, well, now we're going back quite a few years, right? Early 2000s.
Very goth. In the news right now for being bad, doing bad things.
Like very gothic.
I'm like Marilyn Manson?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. And he was going out with that, I think her name is Dita Von Tays or something. She's like a very, very, very famous burlesque dancer.
Oh,
and she was in this. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't even know what her name is.
Dita Von Teese?
There we go. That's it.
Yeah.
So we're
Drag Race.
Me and my brother were like, "Oh my God, is that Marilyn Manson?" And he was not being bothered at all.
Wow.
And he was just it was so funny because I'm like, he's in Disney World? Like, this doesn't seem right.
He's in Disney World in full goth attire, scaring the children? What's he doing?
He didn't have, of course, the crazy, like, he had a bit of eyeliner. I think it was just residual eyeliner from the night before, quite frankly. But it wasn't like he was in crazy makeup, but I mean, he had his nails painted. But it was the clothes that were so funny to me. I'm like, they must be so uncomfortable. Like, it's not easy walking around Disney World. Anyways, I don't know if he's considered a celebrity anymore because he's a dirty bird. But anyways.
Yeah. But hey.
My great celebrity sighting.
Your great celebrity sighting. Boo. Don't ever want to brag about that one anymore.
Yeah, and I just put it out there. Great.
Very, well, that's awesome. And I hate to cut the conversation short, but we're out of time.
Not a problem.
And you know what? We're going to have you back again, obviously, because I don't know about you. I think we could talk for like hours.
Oh, probably.
So
it's a problem.
I wanted to thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast. And thank you to everyone for tuning in and listening. You can always check out my podcast wherever podcasts can be found. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. You can also email me any questions, suggestions at realtalkwithpatrick@gmail.com. Again, that's realtalkwithpatrick@gmail.com. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.